Hello everyone. In this video, we shall discuss how to solve linear inequalities. So for our first example, we have 3 times the quantity of x minus 2 is greater than 9. So we can treat this as a linear equation by distributing 3 to both x and negative 2. So we get 3x minus 6 is greater than 9. Now we can transpose negative 6 to the other side of the inequality, and nothing will be changed in the sense of the inequality. So it will stay the same. It will stay as greater than. So we have 3x greater than 9 plus 6 is 15. And then we divide both sides by positive 3. And again, dividing both sides by positive 3 will never change the sense of the inequality. So in this case, we get x is greater than 5. So our answer for this inequality will be x is greater than 5. But if we want to write it in interval notation, then we can plot 5 anywhere on the number line. Now, since there's an absence of the equal sign, 5 is not included, but everything to its right are included. So that means 5 comma positive infinity is the interval notation. 5 is preceded by a parenthesis, and positive 8 is followed by a parenthesis. Now, for our second example, let us consider negative 5x minus 14.5 is greater than or equal to negative zero point 0.5 times the quantity of 9 minus 2x. So in here, we will distribute negative zero point 0.5. So we write it as negative 5x minus 14.5 is greater than or equal to negative zero point 0.5 times 9 is negative 4.5. And then negative zero point 0.5 times negative 2x is positive x. So if we transpose x to the left side, then that will be negative 5x minus x. So that gives us negative 6x is greater than or equal to negative 14.5 when transposed to the right side will give us positive 10. And then dividing both sides by negative 6 will reverse the inequality. So remember, the multiplication property of inequality states that if you multiply both sides of the inequality by a negative number, then that means we need to reverse the inequality. So the left side now becomes x, but the inequality will become less than or equal. And then 10 over negative 6 is just negative 5 over 3. So in interval notation, we plot negative 5 over 3 anywhere on the number line. And then since there's a presence of equal sign, that means negative 5/3 is represented by a solid point. And then everything to its left are part of the solution. So that means the interval notation will be parenthesis, negative infinity, comma, negative 5 over 3, and then it will be followed by a bracket symbol. Now, for our third example, let's consider 3 plus x over 4 is less than or equal to 2x minus 4 all over 3. And now, in this inequality, since there are fractions, we multiply both sides by the LCD of 4 and 3, which is 12. Now, since we're multiplying by a positive number, then there will be no change in the sense of the inequality. So therefore, less than or equal will stay as is in the solution. Okay, so 12 divided by 4 is 3, and then we multiply it by 3 plus x, and then we still use the less than or equal symbol, and then 12 over 3 is 4, multiplied to 2x minus 4. And then distributing uh, the appropriate values, then 3 times 2 is 9, and then 3 times x is 3x, is less than or equal to 4 times 2x is 8x, 4 times negative 4 is negative 16. And then 8x will be transposed to the left side, and positive 9 will be transposed to the right side. So that gives us 3x minus 8x, which is negative 5x, is less than or equal to negative 16 minus 9 is negative 25. However, this will require us to divide both sides by negative 5. But since dividing by negative 5 is also multiplying by negative 1/5, so that means the sense of the inequality will be reversed. So this means that the left side is x and the right side is positive 5. So in interval notation, we're going to plot 5 anywhere on the number line. And then since there's the presence of the equality symbol, then that means 5 is represented by a solid point. And then everything to the right side are solutions of this inequality. So this means that in interval notation, that's 5 comma positive infinity. 5 is preceded by a bracket symbol and infinity is um, followed by a parenthesis. So now let's have a fourth example. For our fourth example, we have 5 is less than 3x minus 7 is less than or equal to 8. Now, to solve this continuous inequality, we can actually add 7 to everything here. So when we add 7, that means we get 12 is less than 3x is less than or equal to 15. So the negative 7 and the positive 7 here will cancel out. And then to solve for x, we're going to divide everything by 3. Since we're dividing by a positive number, then the inequalities will stay the same. So still we have less than here and less than or equal here. So 12 over 3 is 4. 3x over 3 is just x. And then 15 over 3 is 5. So now in interval notation, we plot 4 first. 5 is positioned to the right side of 4. And since there's an absence of equal sign here at 4, 4 is not included. And then since 5 has the equal sign here, so 5 is included. So everything in between are solutions of this inequality. So which means in interval notation, we write this as 4 comma 5, and then 4 is preceded by a parenthesis, and 5 is followed by a bracket symbol. And then for our last example, let's consider 3 plus x is less than or equal to 3x plus 1 is less than 7x minus 2. Okay, so since all the expressions here are, or all the expressions contain variables, so we can split this into 2. So we have 3 plus x is less than or equal to 3x plus 1. And since this is a continuous inequality, then we have to use the and symbol. So we have 3x plus 1 is less than 7x minus 2. So what we did was we just split these continuous inequality into 2 separate inequalities and we combine them by the and symbol because we're supposed to get the intersection of these 2 inequalities. So solving the first inequality, we will transpose 3x and transpose positive 3. So that gives us x minus 3x is negative 2x is less than or equal to 1. And then we have minus 3, so that's negative 2. And then dividing both sides by negative 2 will give us x at the left side. And then the inequality will be reversed. And then for the right side, it's just positive 1. Now for the second inequality, 7x will be transposed to the left and positive 1 will be transposed to the right. So that gives us 3x minus 7x. So which means we have negative 4x is less than negative 2. And then there's a minus 1. So this should be negative 3. And then we divide both sides by negative 4. So the left side becomes x. And then the inequality will be reversed. And that becomes 3 over 4. So we're supposed to graph x is greater than or equal to 1 and x is greater than 3/4. So graphically, we plot 3/4 first, and then 1 is positioned to the right of 3/4. For x is greater than or equal to 1, it starts at 1, going to the right. And then for x is greater than 3/4, it starts at 3/4, but 3/4 is not included, and then it extends going to the right side. So the intersection of the red and the yellow lines is the is from 1 going to the right side. So our solution set is now written as 1 comma positive infinity. 1 is preceded by a bracket, and positive infinity is followed by the parentheses. So this ends our discussion of solving linear inequalities. And thank you for listening, and I hope that you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.